What inspired the Veteran Series, and who is Dawood Akil? What's his story?
Okay, so that is a story. We had something called the Legal Networking Forum during COVID. Everything shut down, and we had virtual events or live events, I should say, and speakers. And we would have students come out and people in the community at South Coast College where I worked. And what happened was during that time, everything shut down. So really quick, we moved everything from live events and speakers and students in the community to online. And so we did that, a virtual series online. We actually did it every week for a couple of years. And about 2021, I started helping a couple of veterans, and one in particular, and there was like no help. There was no help. There was no resources. Every time we made a call to get help for one thing, we were sent to another number. Every time we went over here, we were sent over there. If you were using this resource as a veteran over here, you couldn't use this resource. And so for me, diving in and finding out how that process was, it was a little confusing. I'm a paralegal. I worked at a college. I think I know a little bit on how to navigate things, and helping this veteran really made me understand, like, what the hell's going on? If you don't have knowledge on research, if you don't know how to push forward and hear a bunch of no's and try a bunch of different things, or know how to navigate things like even asking for help or where to ask for help, I can understand why a lot of veterans give up. And so this particular one had given up, had children, was in school, was on the verge of being homeless. So after a couple months of daily calls to different resources to try to find help, we started going outside of the box, and I started asking different nonprofits in the community that I knew, different resources. And one of my past speakers for the Legal Networking Forum happened to be a man named Dawood Akil. And Dawood was a retired military Marine Corps veteran. He also was a business owner. He had financial organizations in, I believe it's 2 countries, locally, other states as well. And then he had a nonprofit teaching children and educating them on finance. He was an author. And so I call him up and ask him for help. Hey, Dawood, how do I help this veteran? I'm finding that this is a big circle and we can't get help. And they don't want to help him unless it's you're homeless or your feet are on the street, so to speak. And so when I called him thinking my friend has got it all together. My friend has a nice life, has a family, has companies, he helps other people. And he said, Christine, I'm actually struggling myself with claims. And then I thought, what? So I sat on the phone and we talked. And we had multiple conversations afterwards. But Dawood had told me that 20 years prior, he was called back from the military after retiring and tested for a certain type of cancer from the water from Camp Lejeune. He didn't have it at that time. They sent him on his way, and he thought, whatever. He didn't keep the paperwork. He didn't keep anything. It had to have been 20 years from 2020 or 2021. And he goes, right now, I'm struggling with claims. I've been denied 3 times, and I now have that cancer that they told me that they tested me for and told me I was probably going to get. And so he was doing all this research